I'm doing fine. Mickey-O's supposed to be down.
Oh, you got me.
Oh, no, he said he was coming. So here, if you turn around, is these are the kind of lathes and mills and stuff that they made a lot of the parts on and stuff. This would have been turning axles during this type of stuff. And these were all Monarch. These were, at the time, these were the finest lathes you could get your hands on. Everything's showing a little wear. Oh, but we still use them to make tooling. So they may look like us, a little worse for wear, but they're still trucking. They're still trucking. Over here is some of the mills that we saved too. That there used to be just gangs of these all over.
Right.
And like you see this one over here that's just like 2 drill presses.
Right.
There were tables that maybe had 6 or 8 where you drill one thing, move it over, drill another, keep on going down the line.
Right.
So it was more of a process to get it where it was. But boy, it was slow by comparison.
Right.
But we still made a lot of really, really nice parts.
Got it.
Big heavy-duty tables like this with steel tops,
Right.
so they could assemble stuff on and knew they were flat.
Right.
More automatics, tools. This one is a big 5-axis machine. This is the one that moves in all directions at the same time. This is the one that they can machine a sphere if you wanted to on. What you're looking at now is one of the billet 417 blocks. This starts out as a 600 plus pound chunk of aluminum, and once again they just sort of whittle away everything that doesn't look like a block.
Wow. Okay.
Main caps.
Oh yeah.
All the stuff that no one knows. We make our own studs, nuts, washers. It's just really, really, really great.
Yep.
How long does it take to program these machines, for instance, like for a block?
That goes in phases. See the guy in the jacket right there?
Yes.
He's the one that does it. He'll give you all the information.
Pretty extensive.
Oh, it takes a long, millions and millions of lines of code
Absolutely.
to make one of these machines dance. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's there's an apartment up there that Ed used. That's also where a lot of the old parts were stored. There was a time when I could go up there and it was just like walking down memory lane.
Yeah, I bet.
But because of you, Bill, building the magic car and everybody following suit, all I have left upstairs is an Echo. They have cleaned us out.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is, but I can't think of a better place for all of it to go. It's
because it's back out, it's circulating, and it's living again, and it's wonderful.
Here's one of the inspection rooms, and you can see there's just a little bit of everything. Big, heavy granite table.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that when you set height gauges on and you measured stuff, whereas now a lot of it's done electronically and stuff, but in the old days, this was like the ultimate piece to have. Then there again this is the kind of stuff that Ed did. He had these cases built, so everything hung up because he liked everything neat and just everything had a place and a thing. It's gotten a little more hectic, but it's just absolutely just great when you stop and think about what the ideas that probably came out of this room right here and people that worked on it. Engineer Dick Crawford, Mullins. There were just so many. Ed had Leo Guzin, who was one of the main designers for Offenhauser. They were very good friends, and they'd go out to dinner, and Ed'd need something, and Leo would draw him up rough sketches on napkins. I wish I had one of those napkins.
Of course.
Oh, it would be just fabulous.
Yeah. But you're remembering it, and that's what you're passing on here.
Yeah, it's
All you can pass on is a memory, and that's what you're passing on. So
it's you know, all of these benches and all of that kind of stuff were all made specifically for the shop.
right.
So it's you know, every time I come across a great photograph, I want to hang it on the wall.
Good.
You know, get it framed and put it up. See, nothing's small anymore. Everything is big, massive to hold these castings, and this is a 6-pallet machine. But it can only machine one part at a time, but they can literally program it to run at night. So whenever they can, they try and do that to get it so that you can try and get more production into the whole thing.
Got it.
This is the kind of stuff that has been able to speed it up, but you can still only machine one at a time. Castings over here. This is probably the smallest amount of castings we've ever had in the shop. We've had as many as 250 of these stacked all over the place. Depending on what we're machining, what we're doing, what is running, these in here are the sprint cars. These over here are big block Chevys. Some of them are even bigger blocks. The standard block was standard 427. Then we added more deck onto it. So they started building like 700s. Then we started spreading the bores out. And finally, in the end, they got to about 850 cubic inches. Those are the big pro mods. And here's one great looking red Ferrari.
Yep. That it is.
And I believe this belongs to one of Ed's good friends, Don Weber, who they go way back into kids' times.
Where was Ed born?
Ed was born in California. I believe that the one that we really need to get is Kathy. She'd have more of the information.
Okay.
But it was more on the west side.
Right.
And he grew up just like everybody else, hot rodding, 29 roadsters and pickups and this type of stuff, and probably doing more racing on the street than he should have.
Yeah. Sure.
So
Now, come on over here. And how's everything going with Mr. Seay's Roadster?
there's the three of us, Steve Poe, his father Ron Poe, Robert Casado, and myself, are so proud of this car we could explode. I think I already said that once previously.
Well, you did, but you've been through the hot rod reunion and the push start and the cackle and all of those things, and
I'm 60,
what your perspective
six
was now.
years old, and I was standing in the back of the pickup when this pushed off with Gary in it, and when it barked and came to life and started heading down the thing, Ron, Steve's father, and myself turned into 12-year-olds. We just went nuts in the back of this thing. It was so much fun, and just
And you couldn't have picked a nicer driver, owner back in the day to make happy again.
Well, the thing that was really is after he got out, he was standing by it. He was looking up at the grandstands, and he was welling up pretty good. I mean, there's your hard top fuel driver, that he told me this was his favorite car. And
it was so close to extinction.
this one literally was going to be cut up and thrown away. In fact, Robert and Steve went out to buy this body and another one they wanted to look at that he had. The fact that this car, there was so much of it that was still there. The chassis, the front end, The hubs, the rims are not, but the hubs were originally on it. The torsion bar, the upholstery, the steering wheel. There's just so many of the original parts that it was just spectacular.
It's a success story to the nth degree.
Well, the other part that's really interesting is we were all on the Ham, a website, trying
Right.
to find parts.
Right.
Since then, I've gone on, and I have never found anything else it's like there was this burst of everything we needed came onto the market.
Right.
We got it, and since then, I haven't really found much of anything that would pertain to this on the, here's an interesting one. This car,
Which one?
the 34 Hammered car, has an aluminum Donovan in it that belonged to Alex Morales, the sprint car racer,
Yes.
the Tamale Wagon.
Correct.
So, hello, here she is. So this is, I just found that one out today. And I sat there and just looked and go, boy, there's a survivor too.
Well, what's interesting, it's a small world because Terry Morales, Alex, the Morales family, he lives close to us, and we play cards on a regular basis.
Well,
and I
show
will
him
make
this.
sure. I want to make sure he knows about this.
This is just really, really great. The Ranchero over there belongs to Annette Zuschel.
Right. Right.
And that's a really, really, really interesting piece.
It's a really cool piece.
And as we look around here, I suppose you see a lot of your friends. There's John Rasmussen. He's always a usual,
Yeah, sure.
one of the usual suspects.
Yeah.
I always say.
I'm hoping as we go around, we can capture a few stories. Ed Donovan stories.
Well, why don't-
fond memories, shall we say?
Let's
of the old days.
let's see if
Ed.
we can hunt some people down and see if
Okay.
we can hand the mic
Sounds
over and
great.
see what they do. Why don't we start with this group right over here?
Okay.
Here's we're coming up on a group of the usual suspects right now.
Yes.
And here's Mr. John Rasmussen. I think I'll pass this over, and he can tell us a Donovan story, maybe
Do you have a
that's
Donovan story for us?
suitable for
publication.
publication.
Or were there any?
Well, my best recollection is when I came into drag racing, he was the problem solver for the Hemi Chrysler. He made these exhaust rocker arms, and that solved a huge problem that the Chrysler had. And you know, I think he already had those stainless steel valves that could be used in any engine, but he was particularly fond of the 392. I mean, that was his baby, and once you got to know him, you knew he liked the Meyer Drake engine as well, and he was just a great problem solver. And as we're gathered here today, we're really paying homage to the man.
That's true.
And all the things that he did for us back in those early days. Because we're using junkyard stuff.
Yeah, right. That brought it up a notch or two and made it safer, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you,